Welcome to today's Explainer. Right now, we're decoding a massive, game-changing shift that's completely reshaping the 2026 digital product landscape. If you're a creator looking to scale up your income, but you are absolutely terrified of burning out in the process, well, this is for you. We're going to dive deep into what's actually selling like crazy right now, the smart pricing strategies you need, and the wild profit margins that are driving everyone toward digital assets. Let's get into it.
Here's a quick look at our roadmap for today. First, we'll cover the shift to digital. Then, we'll look at why digital products win. Next up, the top products of 2026, how to actually pick your perfect product, and finally, exactly where to sell your stuff.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the shift to digital.
So let's just be totally honest for a second here. Are you just utterly exhausted from trading your precious hours for dollars? You know, for years, the creator playbook has basically been chase those one-off brand deals, grind through endless client work, or, my personal favorite, deal with the absolute nightmare of physical merchandise fulfillment. I mean, nothing drains your creative energy faster than wrestling with packing tape at 2 a.m., right? In that model, you're literally capping your income based on how many hours you can physically stay awake. But the modern creator is waking up, moving away from this super fragile, high-effort model and aggressively looking for something that scales effortlessly.
Think of it like this. The old way is just heavily dependent on logistical headaches and constant active labor. It's a treadmill. But the 2026 reality, it is all about digital templates, AI prompt packs, and preset bundles. And the absolute beauty of this new reality is endless scale. You do the heavy lifting of building a really valuable asset just one single time, and then you can sell it endlessly without any extra effort or overhead. That's the dream, right? That is true, scalable, passive income.
Moving right along to Section 2, why digital products win.
Okay, so what really blows my mind here, and what should absolutely blow yours, are the profit margins. We're talking 70 to 95% margins on what you sell. Just take a second to compare that to physical products. It's night and day. Your only real cost here is just the time it took you to create the asset in the first place. Once it's built and it's hosted online, practically every single dollar that comes in goes straight to your bottom line.
Let's actually break down why these margins are so insanely high. First off, zero inventory or shipping headaches. No boxes, no postage fees, no worrying about lost mail. Second, AI has completely flipped the creation process on its head. What used to take weeks, actually sometimes months, of design or coding can now be knocked out in a single weekend using modern AI tools. And this is crucial. Look at those last 2 points about consumer behavior. Audiences across the US, the UK, Australia, they're feeling massive subscription fatigue. People are just so over recurring monthly charges. What they want are instant, one-time downloads, usually in that $10 to $50 sweet spot that solve a very specific, immediate problem. They want to buy it, own it, and be done with it.
All right, Section 3, top products of 2026.
So what's actually selling? These 4 categories represent the absolute easiest entry points into the digital space right now. They require barely any technical setup, and honestly, you can often build them in just a few hours. You've got templates and planners, think Notion workspaces or custom Google Sheets that help buyers organize their chaos instantly. Then there's AI prompt packs, which are just huge right now. You're basically curating cheat codes for ChatGPT or Midjourney. Printables and digital art are a total no-brainer for visual creators. And social media content packs, things like Canva templates for Reels or carousels, brand managers and other creators are literally begging for ways to post faster, so the demand there is just constant.
Now, looking at this breakdown of the 2026 catalog is super interesting because you can really see the trade-offs. For example, if you're a tech-savvy creator, you could whip up some AI prompt packs with an unbelievable 80 to 98% profit margin. You'd price those around $9 to $49 on platforms like Gumroad. On the flip side, if you're an educator or a coach, you might want to build a mini course. The margins are a tiny bit lower, like 70 to 90%, but the price point is way higher, going all the way up to $499. So it's really like a menu. You can just pick the product type that perfectly matches your unique skills and, of course, your audience's wallet.
Which brings us nicely to Section 4, picking your perfect product.
Please, whatever you do, do not just guess what might sell and build in a vacuum. We want to work backward from your audience using this exact 4-step method. Step 1, identify your audience's biggest problem. What's the question they ask you the most? Start there. Step 2, niche down hard. Broad generic products just get completely lost in the noise. Step 3, pick a format from that list we just looked at that you can create fast, just to test the waters. And step 4, honestly, this is the golden rule. Validate the idea.
Before you spend a single hour building, ask 10 engaged followers if they would buy it at a specific price. Prove that demand exists before you invest your time.
Just to really drive that strategy home, look at this specific example from our source material. A Notion template for real estate investors will consistently outsell a generic productivity template. And why is that? Because it speaks directly to a very specific person's unique situation. When a real estate investor stumbles on that template, they don't have to sit there and wonder if it'll work for their specific workflow. They know for a fact it was made for them. So remember, niching down isn't just a fun suggestion. If you want high conversion rates, it is absolutely non-negotiable.
And finally, Section 5, where to sell your stuff.
There's actually a super clear progression you should follow here, depending on your audience size. If you're starting out and you have under 5,000 followers, you want zero financial risk. Set up shop on Gumroad or Etsy to test your ideas without paying any monthly fees. As you grow into that 5,000 to 50,000 follower range, it's time to level up. Scale with platforms like Lemon Squeezy, StanStore, or Shopify. They give you a much slicker checkout experience, and they automatically handle all that really annoying international tax compliance for you. Then, once you hit that 50,000 plus follower mark, you want total control. At that point, move to your own domain, hook it up directly to Stripe, maximize those margins, and completely own your customer data. It's a natural journey from zero risk to maximum control.
Now, you might be sitting there thinking, well, this is great, but I literally have 0 followers. Don't worry at all. I want to highlight a massive advantage for beginners. Platforms like Etsy are essentially giant search engines. They have built-in search traffic that brings eager buyers directly to your printables and templates. You do not need a massive following to get your first sale because those buyers are already on the platform actively searching for exactly what you're selling.
So as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with this one provocative question. What problem will your first digital product solve? You don't need a massive 50-item catalog by tomorrow. Just pick one idea, niche it down, validate it with a few people, and you can literally take your first real step towards sustainable, burnout-free digital revenue this very week. Thanks so much for joining me to explore this massive shift, and we'll see you next time.